Hello and welcome to this new video from Divus. This time it's not a real tutorial, it's not a presentation, but it's about the recommendations from Divus for the system integrators when planning or when commissioning or when configuring a project with Divus Touchstone or Divus KNX IQ devices. There are three main goals for these recommendations. The first one is achieving the best possible solution in the shortest time. The second one is finding the balance between the features, the functions, and the added value which you can offer to your customer on one hand, and on the other hand, having a reliable, stable, and secure system in the long term. And the third one is to have a system which you can deliver to your customer and which is as secure as possible, because security plays a growingly important role in home automation. So let's now talk about the first recommendation. What's the most efficient way of working when you work on a project with Divus panels? One of the tools which helps you most is the Divus Synchronizer. A very easy tool which allows you to spare a lot of time. And so the first recommendation is please use the Divus Synchronizer. It is very easy to use, and once you learned how to use it, it will allow you to spare a lot of time in commissioning, in configuring, in obtaining the best possible result for your project. The second recommendation is the most complex one. So how can you find a balance between the things you can offer to your customer and at the same time don't have any risk from a security point of view, from what can come back to you for the support to the customer, for basically your relationship with the customer, which should be that of having a happy customer which doesn't have to complain, which doesn't have to come back to you for any issues. One important point here is the communication with the customer, because especially for the Divus Touchstone you have the possibility to install any third-party app, but at the same time you want the device to be stable and reliable and don't have any issues. So what's a possible solution here? Of course you have to talk with the customer, you have to find the best possible solution, you have to find the set of apps which he needs. If you use a Divus Touchstone you have the possibility to use third-party apps, but it is important that you build your own set of apps, and this is what you are going to install through the Divus Synchronizer. And at the same time you have to make sure the customer understands that these are not consumer devices. This means they don't have to compare them to their smartphones or to their tablets. They don't have to be updated to the latest Android version. They don't have to always have the latest version of the apps, because most of the time they will not need it. They will not take any advantage from having the latest versions. And so you can create your own set of apps which you will install, and you don't need to update the apps even in the long term. The panel should work in the long term without any issues, and so you need to update only if you have negative feedback, because newer versions are needed, because there are newer devices which need an update. Otherwise, you should stick to your fixed set of APKs which you can install. The third recommendation about security How can you make a device as secure as possible? For sure, one of the main points here are passwords. There are several possibilities to secure our devices. You can choose a secure password to access the settings. You can secure it by closing the synchronizer access, so the device is not reachable through the network. You should make the devices accessible through the network only for your commissioning or for a support, but then close them again. Also, in your intercom configuration, you should change the default accounts using custom secure passwords. These are all steps which are very important to make a device secure, to make it difficult to be hacked, and this will in the end make your customer happier, and as a return you will be a happier system integrator. Thank you for watching.